Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Pia and I am of course so very happy that you're joining me today for a little chat about yarn and knitting. Actually, looking around me, I don't know that it's going to be a little chat. I do have a lot of stuff, it seems, but let's see how it goes. I am wearing my Jericho's Rose, my Advent sweater that just released this morning. In the summer, I set myself the challenge of designing a garment that could use up an Advent calendar, 24 mini skeins of beautiful yarn. I love an Advent calendar. I love opening these beautiful little skeins every morning. It makes me so happy, but I don't always know what to do with the yarn. In the past, I've typically made blankets, but I actually wanted to make something that felt a little more special. So I decided to create a sweater that would use up the 24 mini skeins for this year's Advent calendar. And this is the result. Jericho's Rose, a very simple sweater with a round yoke, bottom up construction, so that we can start our knit along for this sweater today. We can use November to knit the body, the sleeves, and then when December 1st rolls around, we're ready to start working the beautiful, colorful yoke. I also wanted to add these embroidered flowers, to both because I love it, I like how it looks, but also to sort of tie the main color together with this very, very colorful yoke. The colors that I have used for this one are not probably what you would typically get in an Advent calendar. These are scraps and leftovers. I just went through my scraps. I found 24 times 20 gram of different colors. And of course, my scraps are going to reflect who I am, what I knit. They're not going to be very colorful, but still, I think it looks beautiful. And I can't wait to start the sweater that will be finished off with this year's Advent calendar. I actually have it right here because today we're starting the knit along for this sweater. We're going to knit it together. We are, as I said, going to work the sleeves and the body in November, and then we're going to knit together in December, embroider the flowers on Christmas Day, and then have our beautiful new sweaters to wear. But yeah, in here I have only just cast on because it is the day that we're starting, right? So I cast on a sleeve in black. Black because I have a suspicion that my calendar this year is going to be very colorful, very playful, and a lot of fun. So I actually wanted a black background to allow the colors to really pop. I could also have went for a gray tone background, which would probably have taken the colors a little down, but I wanted them to pop. So black it is. I am starting with a sleeve because I don't like swatching. I really, truly do not like swatching. So I'm thinking I'm going to knit the sleeve. As soon as I'm past the ribbing, I'm going to knit maybe 5 or 10 centimeters, and then I'm going to measure my gauge. And if it's completely off, which I don't think it will be, but if it is, then it's just a little bit I have to rip back and try over. And if it's right on point, I'm good to go. I am using some drops, merino extra fine it's called. It is the superwash merino, yeah, budget friendly, reliable workhorse of a yarn. This is not a very warm yarn, which is actually part of the reason why I chose it, because I wanted a garment that I could wear indoors and not a heavy outdoor garment. So this, I'm hoping, is a very good choice. I will say this one that I'm wearing, that's Drops Lima, which is alpaca and merino. And obviously alpaca is a much warmer fiber, but this doesn't feel warm at all. Maybe because we're trying to keep the temperature down. Anyway, my Advent sweater is going to be black with what I'm thinking is going to be an explosion of fun, playful colors on the yoke. I really hope you want to join me for this knit along. All you have to do actually is post your progress on Instagram using the hashtag Jericho's Rose. I'm just going to put it here. That way we can follow along as our sweaters progress, and we can cheer and we can, yeah, have a lot of fun, I hope, in this time leading up to Christmas. This is knit in a DK weight yarn, and many Advent calendars are obviously fingering weight. You can just hold the yarn double. The yardage is going to be the same, so you're good to work this sweater with any fingering or DK weight Advent calendar. I have also heard of some people who are gonna do one strand of fingering, one strand of mohair for the yoke, because they want to tone down the colors of the Advent calendar, which is also a great idea. So maybe I will need to have more than one. We shall see. For sure, I'm gonna have the black one this year, and I can't wait. I really love working on it. The name Jericho's Rose, obviously the flowers, not that they're roses. I'm really not good at embroidery, but I had fun and I like how it looks. The pattern does include some tutorials with people who knows what they're doing, showing it. But I also recorded myself making one of the flowers, just so you can see how someone who doesn't really know what they're doing, how they are going about it. But yeah, the name. In my childhood, we would always have a Jericho's Rose that would be taken out for Christmas. And every year I was flabbergasted when this gray-brown lump of nothing was put in a bowl of water and then unfolded into this glorious, luscious green plant. I love Jericho's Rose, and I used to have them also when I was younger. After I moved away from my parents, I would have Jericho's Roses that I would take out for winter or for Christmas. I don't know if you can still get them. I'll have to check that, because I sort of miss my Jericho's Rose now that I keep talking about it and keep thinking about it when I see this sweater. I have a lot of finished objects this time. A lot. It's not because I've done so much knitting, but I did have quite a lot of knitting time when we were traveling, and I finished up a lot of stuff, and I worked on some small projects. That always, I mean, instant gratification, right? When you work these smaller projects, you're like, yay me, I finished something. But the first one is definitely not a small project, and it's definitely not something that flew off my needles, if you will. This one has been on my needles for almost a year, and there is absolutely no good reason for that, because I love everything about this sweater. I love the color, I love the fit, I love to work on it. Yeah. Don't ask me why it took me so long. This is my Aurora sweater, and returning viewers will have seen it numerous times. It is this classic sweater with a turtleneck, some ribbing going from the cuffs of the sleeves all the way under the arm, down to the sides of the body, and all the way down to the body ribbing. And it has some really nice shaping to the body. There are some increases worked to pull the sweater forward and a little up, so it's a super cute fit. I like it a lot. The yarn is adorable. It's something that I picked up at the McKinney Knittery. It is less traveled yarn in the pumpkin spice colorway, and it's gorgeous, and it's soft, and it's wonderful, and I have no idea why I didn't finish it. But now I finished it. I was ready for Halloween. I had my spider hat ready for one Halloween party. He's so much cuter in it than I am. But when we went trick-or-treating, I wanted to be a pumpkin, of course. So I wore this sweater and I wore this hat, my pumpkin hat. This is leftover yarn from the sweater, obviously. It's the Manhattan hat. I don't remember the name of the designer, but I'm gonna put it in the show notes that you'll find in the description box below. This hat is just amazing. I really like it. Just see how the decreases for the crown are made. I think it's so pretty. I then crocheted a little stem to make it into a pumpkin. I am definitely gonna take off that stem now that I've shown it to you, so that I have an orange hat without a pumpkin stem on top of it. But yeah, I was a pumpkin. I felt very confident in all my knits, and I felt quite pumpkin-y, if that's a thing. I also finished my cat number 2. The sweater that I started during our knit-a-thon is now done, and I am loving it. I'm already wearing it. I hurried to get the shots for the pattern so that I could just start wearing the sweater, because it's lovely. It's this super soft merino alpaca single spun base. So it's, yeah, it's just look at the halo of the thing. Can you see the halo on this? It's just gorgeous. This yarn just gone. This yarn just fluffs up, and it is absolutely beautiful. The sweater is worked with a lace pattern on the yoke, and I created this lace pattern over a 1x1 twisted ribbed background, because I wanted it to help pull the sweater in around the shoulders to give it a beautiful fit. It fits wonderfully. I have done some body shaping. I'm sorry. Words today? I don't know. But yeah, I've done some body shaping just like I did on the Aurora. I did it to this one as well. And it's just super cute to wear this with a skirt or with jeans. I even wore it with shorts when I was in Texas. I thought I was gonna knit some either short sleeves or 3/4 length sleeves, but actually I decided to just work a little bit of ribbing and bind off, and it's absolutely lovely. I also wore this over a white shirt. It looks, yeah. This is gonna get a lot of wear, even though it is definitely not my typical go-to color. The yarn is from the Danish hand dyer by Jericho. It is on her Single and Fabulous base, and the colorway is called Brand i byen, Fire in the City. Totally appropriate for this colorway. Because it is a variegated colorway, I chose to helical knit the entire thing. And I'm so happy that I did. There is no pulling. I really like how the colors are distributed throughout, and I can't tell at all where I changed the skeins. So I'm happy about everything. Which is how you should feel about your knits, right? When I'm not happy about everything, I actually tend to go back and change it. It may take me a while because it's not like, yoo-hoo, I gotta change my whole sweater. But it is just, I feel so accomplished when I do it, and I feel, yeah, it just makes me happy to take a garment that I was nah about and change it into something that I really love. So I've become much better at actually doing it a little bit faster than I used to. I have more finished objects. I finished some small stuff. The first thing that I finished was a sweater for my little John. He's 3. I made him this sweater. Isn't he just adorable in it? This yarn is the exact same color as his eyes. At least that day. His eyes change his color with the lighting and what he's wearing. But that day, they were this color. This was some yarn. It's gotta be from either Hobby Lobby or Michael's. It was in my stash. You can't really call it a stash, but over in Texas I have one of these baskets just with odd little balls of yarn, skeins of yarn that I have just in case that inspiration strikes, or I find out that little John doesn't have a sweater. I mean, his grandma has this superpower of being able to change thread into gorgeous garments, and he doesn't have a sweater? That's ridiculous. So I picked up this yarn, and then I used the Glenmore Mini pattern by Isolde Teague to make him this sweater. It is a beautiful pattern. It's so clear, well written. It's everything you would expect from Isolde Teague, and the sweater is beautiful. It just fits, and it's this big comfy hug of a sweater that John is very satisfied with. He's very satisfied with this yarn. It is 100% acrylic, but it is soft and a little bit fluffy. It's not too warm, but it will keep him just a little warm. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. I think I knitted up in one day and one evening, something like that. It knits up super fast. So if you want to do some gift knitting for children in your family, I highly recommend the Glenmore Mini by Isolde Teague. I will, of course, link the pattern below. Then I knit a lot of shawls. Shawls. Swatches for shawls. I wanted to make a shawl, and I wasn't sure of the shape, so I did some different little shawls to test different ways of shaping a shawl, different stitch patterns, and yeah, I had a lot of fun, as you can see. And yeah, this one is not really. Anyway, I started working on the shawl. Right now it is blocking, so I can't show it to you. But it's going to be a really nice shawl. It's long, it's not too deep. It's more of a scarf than a shawl per se. And it is worked in a stitch pattern that I have been itching to use for a full year. No, 2 years. 2 years ago. 3 years ago. 3 years ago. Wow. Am I the only one that doesn't count the COVID years? That they just poof. Anyway, 3 years ago, at around this time of year, I was in Dubai with my family. And we were at the pool, and I was, of course, knitting. And I see this woman who is also knitting. So, of course, we started talking, as you do when you meet a knitter. She was working on a little children cardigan in the most beautiful pattern. And I was like, wow, you need to show me this. She called it a subtle rib. And I have later found subtle rib as I found it in one of my stitch dictionaries. But I used the little notes that I took on my phone that day at the pool. And I've been wanting to use that pattern ever since, never gotten around to it, but now I decided, yes, my shawl is going to be knit with that pattern. That was also why I wanted to check some different ways of shaping, because like what I really thought I wanted to do was this shape. I love this shape. I think it's just so versatile, it's so beautiful, but it didn't work very well with that stitch pattern because I wanted to keep the long lines of the pattern uncompromised, and I couldn't do this. So I ended up with just going with the, and this is a horrible little swatch, this one, but this super simple triangular shape. I remember, what, 20 years ago, there was one winter in Denmark, everybody would wear these shawls, these triangular knit from side to side shawls. We would knit them really long and we would wrap them around us and use them instead of cardigans. Yeah, so I did this shawl. I'm gonna pop a photo so that you can get an idea. This is pre-blocking. As you can see, I didn't even weave in the ends, but yeah, that's gonna be a lot of fun. I have been working on my Be Beautiful. I think I showed you last time I recorded. You see the bees here. I think I showed you last time I recorded that I wanted to make an autumny, wintry version of Be Beautiful using a little heavier yarn that was in the original pattern. I wanted to use this. It's a soft sport superwash merino from Moondrake Fibers in the colorway Kelp. Also yarn that I picked up at the McKinney Knittery. And I started working the Be Beautiful, and then I ripped everything back because Be Beautiful is designed for a very thin, airy, and drapey yarn. So it has very boxy shoulders and it looks absolutely adorable in that yarn. But in a heavier yarn like this, it was very Joan Collins. So I ripped it back and I played a little round with some construction and decided to go with a European shoulder, where you slant the shoulders from the back side of the garment, so to speak. Super easy way of working a slanted shoulder. And yeah, I started over with the European shoulder and it is working out beautifully. I tried it on and now it looks good. So from now on out, it's going to be a lot of stockinette stitch in the round until I come to the ribbing that has this little zigzaggy pattern. So this is going to be really good car knitting when we're going to go to Denmark here very, very, very soon. Yeah, thoroughly enjoying working on this. It hasn't gotten as much love as I would have wanted because I got a little upset with it for not having nice shoulders in the heavy yarn. I am keeping it when it's not on the hanger in a new project bag that I got when I was in Texas. I got this off Etsy and it is some waxed cotton lunch bag style bag, and I am absolutely loving this one because I can just roll the top down and then it doesn't take up much space when I put it in my regular bag to go out with me. It is from, and now I kept the tag, Rainworks, and they're on Etsy, and yeah, I'm loving everything they have, but right now I've got the waxed cotton one and I'm really happy with it. And I have another new, brand new project bag. Look, how cute is this? I mean, how adorable can a project bag be? Just with this hand-painted little motif and all the beautiful fabrics, and it's a heavy-duty bag. It will stand up no problem by itself. It has the drawstring that I really like so that I don't mess up anything with the zipper. A little handle so I can knit and walk, and yes, I absolutely love this thing. This one you can also get on Etsy. It is my new friend Lizzie from the Poland in Texas podcast, Cozy Sky Company. Her and her niece are making these bags. They are trying to raise money for her niece to go to Europe. So if you want to support a young lady who really does a lot of beautiful work and get the cutest project bag in the process, head on over to Etsy. I am going to link to their Etsy shop in the show notes below. Elizabeth gave me this bag when we met up at the McKinney Knittery, and I was, yeah, wow, I love it. Inside it is a project that shows that I have been away from Denmark for too long. I miss my baby boy, my youngest son. So I am making fingerless mitts for him. They're a little big for me, but they're supposed to be too big for me because they're for him. He is super outdoorsy. He loves to spend a weekend camped out in the forest with some friends or with his kids, his wife. He even convinced his wife to spend New Year's Eve in the forest once, which just goes to show how much she loves him. But anyway, he goes through these fingerless mitts like, yeah, he's hard wearing on his outdoor clothes. So I had some leftover lat wool and I decided I'm going to make him a pair of fingerless mitts. I'm using the pattern from my Christmas collection. In the Christmas collection, they're one color, and then I have embroidered some little French knots on them. I dropped the French knots, but I striped them because I didn't have enough of either color for a full pair. But when I'm striping them, I should be good. I weighed my yarn all throughout and I should be good. Finished one mitt. Haven't started the next one, but I'm gonna. Definitely, I'm gonna. Because very soon I can give them to him. The last thing I finished is this little one. Let me see, how can I show it to you? Like this? Isn't it just so cute? A little piglet. It's from Chris Wall. I will definitely link the pattern below. It's a designer that has a lot of free patterns on Ravelry for these cute little crochet animals. They are so easy to make. I made the spider. I also turned the spider into a spider hat. And then I made this little piglet. So now little Theodore, my newest grandson, is going to get a little piglet. Maybe I'm going to make more and make them into a chain for his stroller, or yeah, I'll have to determine. What I really love about these patterns from this designer, they're called Chris. I don't remember the last name. All the patterns are super easy. They're worked in one piece. You have no finishing after, and they can be done within 30 to 60 minutes. I say half hour to an hour, and you're done. So they are just ever so cute. I'm definitely gonna make many more of their patterns because they are adorable. I love making these little adorable things, but usually crocheted animals, they tend to come in a gazillion pieces that you then have to sew together afterwards, and I'm not really good at that. The end result is never as I had hoped for. These are super fast, super cute, super easy. I cannot recommend them enough. That was it for the creative content this time. Quite a lot, actually, when I'm talking about it. It feels like I've been talking forever, but maybe not. I am thoroughly enjoying my newest cast on, my Jericho's Rose. I hope you want to participate in the knit along. We are gonna knit from today and until New Year's. On January 1st, I'm gonna pick a winner among the photos on Instagram with the hashtag Jericho's Rose. And I'm gonna come up with some kind of really nice prize. I haven't decided, and it's to be determined, but for sure it's gonna be nice. Now I am gonna leave you. I'm gonna go pack up all my stuff so that we can go to Denmark, come home, meet the family there. As I said, clearly I am missing them. I hope you will have a wonderful week, and I hope to see you again next time. Happy knitting until then.